Hello, 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 people. How are we doing? This is something quite new in terms of, obviously, I've never tried one of these before, but if it does work, we're going to stick to it and we're going to try and do it. I would say every week. If it goes this well, we might even try it for equal. Who knows? We could even get Matt on here because everyone likes Matt, don't they, Parsons?
I agree. Yeah,
Exactly. Everyone likes Matt. If we can get Matt
but
on here, I'll
Matt
do
should have
it.
been on the opening one, to be honest. It's a travesty.
Yeah, but Matt was being busy. I don't know what he was doing, but he was doing
Stuck
something.
with stuck with me instead. So
We'll start with you. We start with you, so we'll stick with it because, yeah, that's what we're doing by now. So, if you haven't gathered, this is the realistic, I would say, a mix between round one and pre-race show for pre-season, but we're going to go with round one. As you can see on the left of your screen, we've got the guest list. I don't think Dom's actually here at the moment. He said he'd be here in a minute. But we got
No. I'm here.
oh,
I'm here.
we got Dom, we've got
Hi.
Fish, and we've got
Hello.
Barzy for our first stream. Obviously, if this carries on, we'll try and get other people on for the weeks after. But if it doesn't, then we might bring these guys back if they do well. You never know. We're definitely bringing Parsons back though, because Parsons is just the dream combination at this point. We all know that.
hey, I'm ASR. I don't know. I bleed ASR. I think
Exactly.
literally everything involved in everything.
Exactly. So, before we get into interviewing the guys we brought in, obviously some people might not know what realistic is or whether they've not took part in it before. So I'm just going to do a quick overview of obviously what it is. Obviously, in the title, realistic performance, all the cars with their different abilities. Now, normally it would be full qualifying with 50% race. That's staying. However, the problem is with the new game in July and how late we've decided to revamp is we can't fit 22 races in with one race a week. It used to be two, but I feel like to ease it in, we'll do one, and then we might do two next game again. Never know. So I think it's 15 races with 6 sprints. I think. Can you confirm that, Parsons, or even though
I think.
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
so.
I wrote the calendar and I don't know, but we'll go with it.
Yeah, it's
I'm pretty sure it's 15 races with 6 sprints. Obviously, mid-season driver window. All the contracts will expire. Managers will then either have the chance to renew the contracts or they can choose a different driver. And then obviously if they want to release, then they have to pay because nothing's free in life anymore with cost of living. So obviously managers have chosen their drivers. It's an hour until the race, so we're just going to go over the teams. So we'll start with Red Bull, and they've got Daniel as their manager, obviously managed before, so you'd like to think by now he knows what he's doing. Do you reckon this is his season for success, Parsons?
My gate manager. My gate manager.
Obviously, yeah, you are in this team. You, Giz, for Red Bull, and then Grim and No Problema. Obviously, you've had success with Red Bull, with Fish.
I have.
Do you
I have
reckon?
indeed.
Do you reckon you could bring that back, or do you reckon you've still got work to do?
Well, to be fair, looking at the grid, probably not. But never say never. To be fair.
I have looked at the grid. It's quite a competitive grid. Obviously, quite a few people have come back. You've gained a few as well, who are decent. And I think, in terms of the ones that are not allowed in the top cars, they are quite close to the top. Obviously, there's only a few, but all the ones that there are, you've got me, Matty, and then I think that's it. Is that it? I don't know. Dom, that's it. Dom's the other one. Obviously, all in midfield machinery. Obviously, could do a job at the top, so it should be good. Yeah. So Daniel's the manager. Previous experience. This could be a season, but we're going to find out. So Yes, Parsons, you want to take us through Ferrari?
So Ferrari is managed by Barden. Obviously, everyone knows Barden. Done plenty
Yeah.
of seasons of managing. Obviously, last season we did. Obviously, he was Red Bull, and he had Robbie, who let's just say was walking the
Destroyed it.
championship a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this time, obviously, he's gone for some different drivers. He's got Wilco Hellpack in his Ferraris. And then obviously he's got yourself in the
Yeah.
Alfa Romeo, along with Pollen and Watty and Karmaz. And obviously Karmaz is, I think Karmaz and Watty are completely new, I believe. Never raced in ASR before.
I think Karmas might have maybe once or twice, but I know they do know each other quite well, so there could be some
But
good team chemistry between them. We never know.
to be fair, I think he's done quite well in the transfer in the driver market, getting who he wants to get. I mean, obviously he's got a higher budget, but yeah, I think he's done well with that.
Obviously, Ferrari on paper is the quickest car. Obviously, with you being in the Red Bull, do you think do you think Ferrari, sorry, are going to be that much of a challenge to the Red Bull, or do you think they'll fade away quickly?
See, the thing for me is I don't think I've ever raced Hellpack, so I don't know what he's like in the game.
Oh,
Wilco, I've seen bits and pieces of him, so it could be good battles with Wilco. To be fair,
yeah, I know Hellpack is watching. He's interesting. Let's say that. We'll leave it at that. So
oh god,
we'll move on to Mercedes. We've got Stocky as the manager. Obviously, pretty sure he's a new manager. That's what I've put down here. Don't think he's managed a full season before, but his
he's only
lineups
ever
are.
raced.
Yeah, I was going to say his lineups are interesting. Westy and Massey in the Mercedes. Now there
Just
is
saying that could be
yeah,
a good team. I'm just
that
saying.
could
I'm just
be
throwing it out there.
that could be a pretty dark horse team. I think outside of Red Bull and Ferrari, they will be the ones to watch. Obviously, like in real life, but even with the midfield cars having some quick drivers, I think this Mercedes team will still hold up pretty well. And then in the Williams, KP and the Fish. Obviously, Fish is here now. You've had a lot of success managing. Obviously, the glory days of Parsons.
Absolutely.
Still not got over that. Anyway, obviously, success as a manager won't necessarily correlate to on the track. But do you think you can manage that and have some success with obviously Kurt, experienced driver?
Me and Kurt, we got a good connection. I believe we have something to offer. So
Definitely, yeah.
we'll have to wait and see in Bahrain.
Obviously, yeah. Races in just over an hour, but I think in terms of consistency, I'm going to put it out there early. I think Williams could be up there. Obviously, Stocky's put faith in them. He's put a lot of faith in that Mercedes team as well. Obviously, he knows Westy. But Westy could be on a downward spiral after yesterday, getting grouped in the Sprint Cup. But obviously, Sprint Cup could just be a roll of the dice we could see later on. We'll take you over to Parsons, who will take you through the Papaya Army, aka the McLarens.
Yeah, McLaren. I'll see. Not too good in real life in general, but luckily they got the luxury of being last year's car, so they have slightly better chance of fighting in the midfield. But I'll see it's Mac who's taken one of them. Pretty sure he had them before. I think he's had McLaren before.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, taking McLaren this time, and I'll see everyone knows Mac. He's done a fair few seasons managing now with a variety of drivers. I don't think, I could be wrong, I don't think he's won a championship, has he, with McLaren? Or any team?
I don't think he has. I think the only manager who's won something as McLaren was, I think it was Steve.
Yeah.
When it was me and you.
Yeah. Yeah,
getting it in there early. That flex.
But to be fair to him, I think McLaren is a good driver lineup in my opinion. Obviously Harry, who's raced good few races now over in ASR, and obviously did quite well in the sprint championships yesterday.
Yeah.
And obviously also got Jay as well, and obviously Jay again's done good few, and obviously he had Ferrari before where he did decently well. Apart from the struggle to win a race, but that was just that's just a little dig there. But yeah, I think that's another team that to just watch out for in the midfield. I think
Do you know what?
they're both quite consistent drivers.
Yeah. Do you know what? I could see it with. Obviously, you said Jay struggled to win a race in the Ferrari. It was you could have compared it to Leclerc with the amount of poles he got to wins last. Was it last season? Yeah, last season. He had a lot of poles
Yeah,
last
somewhat.
season. I do think this could be the season that it turns around for him. Obviously, he's been in ASR for what, about a year and a bit, probably a bit longer. So
Just saying that it would be a very Jay thing to do, is struggle in a Ferrari but do really well in a worse car.
to be fair, I think the last season when I was Mercedes manager, he did. I think he won his first race. I think for us. So who knows? We could see a revival. And there was obviously, as you said, Harry, very experienced, very fast. Moving on, we've got
Yeah.
the Green Machine. Obviously, Bowsy and Diak. Not blessed to have the car from this year, so they'll have to make do with the slow coach on the straight from last year. But
as much as they wish they did have it,
oh,
I think
absolutely.
we all.
Again, Edgeworth, new manager. I would say this is solid. Obviously, Barzy's here with us. You and Diak have strong chemistry between you. You think that'll play on the track? Do you think you'll get some good results together?
I mean, we've not actually raced the car yet, so don't actually know what it's going to be like. So, obviously, I've done a few time trials today.
Yeah.
Going by what the car feels like in the time trials, it's going to be a struggle to get in the Q2, I think, tonight. But we'll see what happens. Never know.
Exactly.
I'd say Diak is probably a little bit quicker than me, so he may have a bit more joy. Yeah, I've been toying with sort of my setup for the last hour, and I'm trying to get something right.
We'll see. Obviously, like you said there, nothing to lose at this point. Obviously, any mistakes.
Just so that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, any mistakes, you definitely won't say no to. Obviously, it'll help. So I'd say even with a battle with Williams, I'd say you and Williams, even if it is towards the backer of the grid, I still think could be a good battle.
Yeah.
Because obviously KP and Fish both experienced.
There'll still be a few battles on the track.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's just making sure them mistakes are taken advantage of, and obviously could see some points home.
Jobs for sale, not for Parsons, obviously.
Definitely. Right, we've got one more team, and I'll leave you to Parsons to take over and talk you through Alpine.
Alpine. I'll see. I think they're obviously a good car. Last a little bit iffy this car season. Josh loves them. Got Pierre Gasly in there, obviously now.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, another new manager. I'll see Kieran. Obviously been around ASR, kind of in and out over the last couple months or so. Obviously taken on his first role as manager, and again, I think taken on quite a good pair of drivers. I'll see Batty. I'll see everyone knows Batty. Raced good few seasons in realistic. Obviously, usually quite quick. Obviously, he'll be hoping to improve his record of high qualifying to actual good finishes, because even he knows it. I saw him putting in the thingy chat about how many times he battled for a pole and then he'd struggle on the first lap and end up lower down in the table.
Yeah.
And then obviously Dom, who's in here with us right now, and I'll see again. Dom's done good couple of seasons. I'll see.
Won the first
Don't think you've done.
race.
I was gonna say I don't think
Did
you've
win the
done.
first
Don't think you've
realistic
done
race.
realistic though. But yeah. But yeah. What are you excited for your partnership with Batty, or how you feeling towards it?
Well, I know he is definitely someone who can beat me, and I'm not looking forward to that.
But in terms of the team, I think that strong car, strong team. I think we can get a couple race wins this season.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree with that one. But yeah, I think strong driver lineup with those two. So to be fair, looking at it, good few midfield teams could see some good
It's-
battles in there with some good partnerships going on.
Definitely. I reckon it could be quite tight for Q3. So obviously you've got top three, then you've got Alphas, the McLarens, Alpines, even AlphaTauris all fighting for Q3. It could be a struggle for a few drivers to get into that. So I think one mistake, even if you're setting a banker lap and you invalidate your main lap, could be qualifying over for you, could be starting lower than you'd want to be. So I think that's going to play a massive part. Obviously, like we said earlier with Bowsy, mistakes could come into it, and it's just about taking advantage of those because you never know if you'll get another chance like it.
I do. Yeah, I think this season more than ever, consistency could pay off quite well for some of the
Definitely.
drivers.
Obviously, like you said before, Dom's had success. I don't think I'm wrong in saying Alpine have had, apart from Red Bull, the most success in realistic. Do you think you can emulate that, Dom, with you and Batty?
I think the aim is just get a couple race wins, more than one, but like nowhere near constructors because the three fastest teams all have very quick drivers.
Yeah.
So it'll be hard to emulate the success other people have brought to Alpine, but in terms of what we can do this season, I think we've got a good chance of getting up towards podiums most races if stuff happens.
I'd say definitely, yeah. So you said obviously you said there you're not considering constructors. Are you considering a driver's title?
Ooh, well, every year of realistic, I've been round realistic, sometimes manager, sometimes driver. Only once have I actually been near the title because I always end up just getting blown up. So
was
a title would be nice.
That was the first season, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I was 24 points off in the last round, so there wasn't much chance.
There was basically no chance unless you paid basically every top driver to get taken out.
So it would be nice to get a title, but I don't think it's realistic.
I guess winning titles isn't for everyone, Josh.
I know. Can't say that. Can't say I haven't been there.
Some people don't get banned from Red Bulls and some do, so there's a reason
All I'm
some win titles.
all I'm saying is I'm valued first and I've won 2 titles, so but that's not what this is about. This is not a flexing session. We're here to build up the hype. Realistic's back. First time in I think 4 months, so we'll move on to the.
Feels like we've had a COVID break.
It does, to be fair.
It actually does.
It does, yeah. Even when I first played the game, I think a couple of weeks ago, and I was terrible. There's been obviously F1 is a lot different to other sims. I just couldn't get used to it again, but I think I've got my eye in again now, so should be alright. So we will move on. Just got a few questions for these guys at the end, and then if anyone's got any questions in the chat, feel free to put them in the chat now, and I'll get around to reading them at the end. We've got, obviously, like we said earlier, all 3 of you quite experienced. Do you think that could help you in getting through this season? Obviously, you've all got your expectations. Do you think you could exceed them with the amount of experience you've got? I mean, who should we go with first? We'll go with Fish first.
Oh, great. I mean, I'd like to say I could compete, but I'm sat here in a Williams now, and it's not the fastest thing in the world. But I have got experience, but I don't think it's enough. There's a lot of other drivers who are far more experienced than me. But I think there'll be some good battles with the Haas and
Us and the Aston could be a good battle, do you reckon?
yeah. I mean, all to play for, really.
Exactly.
All to hope for, really.
like you said before, Dom, obviously experience in season 1. Experience as in, I'd say, probably one of the most consistent drivers. Do you think that could help you with maybe fighting for wins, podiums?
It's just a matter of if no one else hits me, and if like what happened last night in the Sprint Cup doesn't happen again.
Yeah. I do think that'll happen a few times. I do think tensions could boil over between a few people. With it being that compact, I think it could have an impact on.
Yeah.
few
I know
collisions.
when I want to, I can avoid collisions, but
Yeah.
it's very hard when you've got 20 people all trying to prove that they can outperform their car.
Exactly, yeah. So we're going to Barsley. Obviously, like you said before, Aston Martin's not the fastest, but you and Diak are, I'd say, quite experienced, been around the block for quite a few years. Do you reckon that could help you in trying to salvage some points for your team?
Possibly. Obviously, I've not actually raced the season. I've obviously
Yeah.
I've raced a couple of races. One of them was horrendous. It was Monaco, but we wouldn't go into.
Yeah.
I mean, Alfredo, the manager, he's optimistic tonight. He wants us to both qualify Q2 and pick up points each, but
Oof.
I think he's stretching a bit there.
He could be, but we never know. With the, like you said before, mistakes could play a part into it. So never know.
Yeah.
We'll move on.
I think for us to pick up points this season, we're going to need things to go our way.
Definitely. This is for even for Parsons as well. Obviously, we've been over expectations, but realistically, what are you expecting to win tonight? We'll go with Parsons first. What are you expecting to do tonight and for the season as a whole?
Well, as someone I think I haven't done much on the game, to be honest. I've just reinstalled it and done a couple of laps here and there, but I think expectation should, for me, probably be like, I guess, because it's Red Bull is the quickest car.
Yeah.
Like, probably get into Q3, and then I'd be happy with battling like top 5. I guess top up, like battling up there. At least being involved. I would say go for the win, but I think I'd be punching.
Would you take a podium every race if someone offered it to you? Would you take that?
Yes, I
Yeah.
would. Yeah.
See
Yeah,
that.
I'm not sure. It's going to be a season of winning drivers' titles, but I think if I can get my stride going again, I think I could improve quite a bit over the course of the season. So maybe more towards the end, I might be pushing a bit more to the top 2, maybe.
I'd say so. Yeah. Obviously, when you won it, you grew into it so much in the second half that I think everyone came a bit surprised by it, but we could see that again.
Yeah.
You never know. We'll move on to Dom. What's your realistic? What's your back and speak? What's your expectation for tonight?
Oh, well, I don't like Bahrain, so I'll take points.
And for the season?
Drivers, I want to be around top 6, top 5 maybe. And then constructors probably 3rd at best.
I'd say that's successful season, given obviously how competitive it is now. Take to fish. What would you say for tonight, and then obviously for the whole season?
I mean, staying in it would be great. Not crashing out on the first lap. That'd be a nice little achievement for me.
Avoiding the sack, then.
Yeah.
Avoiding the sack because I've seen the chat stock. He's on it.
He is on it. He's a great man too. But time will tell. Time will tell.
I'd say even if like what Albon was doing last season, on the verge of points every race. I mean, I know you'd be happy with that, and I'm sure he'd be happy with that because if there's a few mistakes, then you're in. Then you're into the points. Then so.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. All to play for.
Come to bars, yeah. I'd probably say similar. Verge of points.
Yeah.
Do you reckon? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think obviously, like I said earlier, I think we need stuff to go our way to pick up. But for tonight, I'm not only saying this because he's in the party and wind him up, but yeah, looking to beat the Williams
I'd say so.
is
Yeah.
our goal.
Yeah. Beat your teammate. Would you throw that in there? Everyone likes to beat the teammate,
I-
don't they? Would you not?
Especially with it being Johnny Diak, obviously, and knowing him for a few years. Yeah, I'd love to lay one on him.
Who wouldn't? Satisfaction of beating a teammate. Right, we've got 2 more questions for you, and then we'll start the prep for the race tonight. We'll start with Parsons. Can you give us a dark horse prediction and a flop of the season? Now,
There's so many to choose from. To be fair,
there is, to be fair.
it's just trying to think who I could view as dark horse of this season, really. So, I mean, I kind of want to say I don't know, maybe Pollen. I would kind of want to look at Pollen because I mean, he won. Yeah, well, I'm assuming he has. I've not really heard the final decision, but he did. He obviously did really well in the finish. I mean, I know he's not in the one of the best cars, but obviously he is quite quick, and obviously, I think. Judging off what I saw last night, because I was on the stream, I think he's one definitely to keep an eye on throughout the season.
Definitely.
Barney keeps out of the trouble and all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I do think I'll have him. I do think I'll be looking over my shoulder quite a bit to him because I think compared to his time, I don't think his time trial to time does justice on his actual pace. I mean, his pace is a bit better than that. Obviously, I think could be looking over my shoulder at him. Possibly.
Yeah,
we could see team orders, but I doubt it. I doubt we'll see team orders. Unless that's what Barden really wants, then you never know. And if you got you can be controversial here. Have you got a flop of the season?
I don't know. Purely just because it's funny, I'm just gonna say Harry. Just because I can.
Fair enough.
Because just because it's him, basically. And I know if he was on here, he'd say like me or something. So I'm just gonna pick him.
He would probably say you, or if Dimes was in it, I'm pretty sure he'd say Dimes.
Yeah,
Probably.
so I'll just say him.
Yeah,
and that's purely why.
Well,
yeah, I'd say he's my flop of the season, probably.
All right, we'll come to Dom. Who's your dark horse and your flop of the season?
I was gonna say who I think will win the title, but I realise a Red Bull's not really a dark horse.
It could be.
So I'm probably gonna go Paulin as well in the Alpha.
Okay.
For a dark horse.
Right.
Because he had in the sprint thing, we've seen he had the pace, which I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like he's improved a lot in the break that we've had.
Yeah, he's been putting in hours, I'm pretty sure. So.
And then, what was the other one? Flop.
Flop, yeah.
Fish.
Because he's here, or just genuinely think that?
Sacked by race 3.
Bold. That is bold.
That is naughty.
That is bold.
Try to be jokes if he actually does now. It would be.
What do you reckon,
that prediction comes true?
Generally, this is a bold shout. Jay, I reckon that man will do wonders in a McLaren. And flop, I'm hoping Dom flops.
Hoping Dom flops, you looking to get one back on him there?
He's giving it the big one. That Alpine is nothing.
Oh. Big talk.
We'll see in Q1.
We'll see, yeah.
Fighting talk, yeah.
Come to Bargian finally. Dark horse and flop of the season.
I mean, I don't know whether it's really a dark horse or not, but I can see Westy doing something in that Merc.
Yeah. No,
I had Westy when I was at Ferrari, and I think he was in the Alpha at the time when I took over.
That was when the Alpha was bad as well. Before it got good, yeah.
I quickly upgraded him to the Ferrari, and he was doing right in it. Do you know what? Flop at the moment, just by looking in the chat. I'm going for the Alpines because they've not submitted any drivers.
Kieran submitted his drivers. He's got. He's passed. He's
Oh,
passed
no.
it as well.
Yeah, no point. No, I don't know. I've raced with Gizmo a few times. I know he's a decent driver, but he does like a spin.
Yeah.
I gotta go with Giz.
Hey.
I'll,
That's my teammate.
I'll throw
there
one
he
in. I'll throw
Well, I
one
mean, I'm
in.
not gonna say you, but you know, if the City fans stick together.
The side connection wouldn't allow that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. I'm going to throw one in there. I'm going to say Grim. Not even because it's just Grim. I just think he's quite mistake prone. And
Was that for your flop?
for my flop, yeah. I would say Dark Horse. See, I want to say Pollen, but then I'm going to have to do a lot of looking over my shoulder. I'm going to
Plenty of
say.
people on that grid.
I'm probably going to say KP. Don't know why. When KP was in that Haas and he was keeping it consistent, but obviously game models very different. So we'll have to see. We've got one more question. It's quite simple. What's your prediction for tonight? Who's winning? We'll start with Parsons again. I guess we're just going to same order.
Prediction to win.
You can throw Poland
do you know
as well
what?
if you want.
A poll.
A Poland to win, yeah.
Do you know what? I would say, looking at these teams, I will say, I reckon Westy pole, in my opinion. I reckon Westy
Alright.
could sneak it, because we all know how good he is at the game.
Yeah.
Whether he'll win, do you know what? I think it'd be tough. Nah, I'll say he'll get pole and he'll win. I'll say it's a dominant performance by West.
Fair enough. Well, go to you, Dan.
Just because I've seen him from FRL and that, so
Yeah,
I've known him a while.
he's rapid. Do you not reckon the going out and Spring Cup could play on his mind? Do you reckon he'll put that behind him and get going?
See, I thought that, but I was thinking back to like season 5, and I'm pretty sure on the build up to season 5, he had a few like equal races where he just wasn't really doing much. But then that first race, he's just back to like what what we all know is pace, and he was just back at it straight away. And it was like, well, why were we all saying that he probably will struggle, and then he just completely did really well. So.
Yeah. To be fair, I've been seeing him vent and saying he's not with it with the game because of the break, but he's one of them people that will just pick it up so quickly again that he's a force to be reckoned with. We'll come to Dan then.
Against him.
What's your prediction for tonight? Who's pole in the win?
It's going to be a really boring prediction. But Red Bull front low lockout, Red Bull 1-2.
Wow.
I don't think that's boring. You know.
I said pole in the win, not the lockout. Who's winning? You have to pick one.
I don't know.
See,
I
now
don't
he's
want to give him an ego boost when he's here.
I mean, you could.
Do
you know what? You could say that, but then Parsons could bottle it. You never know. Could get to his head. But... So Red Bull lockout. You're saying, yeah?
Red Bull dominance for the first race.
Bit like real life. What about you, Fish?
I'm backing Parsons to win it.
For God's sake. Stop this pressure, man.
All the expectations on him now.
I do reckon it will be a good battle between Parsons and Hellpack, to be honest.
Yeah.
And a McLaren will definitely be up there, top 5 for qualifying.
Okay. Which one? Or just either?
It could be both good at racing. Jay is a bottle job though, but
Jay is a quality merchant, to be fair. So
he
I'll
is a
give
good
you
quality.
that.
I'm actually interested to see Hellpack, now. After that comment, I'm actually really interested to see how he does now.
Come to Barzy then. Pole in the win.
Pole. I'm gonna go first. I think last season, he was qualified in the top 5, and race pace was always decent.
Okay, yeah.
Then they go with Westy.
All right.
Yeah.
I can see that. To be fair, I'm gonna throw one in there. I'm gonna say, Joe, I'll back the Westy poll, but then I'll go for a Massey win. Bold
Really?
Massey
Ooh.
win.
Well,
I don't even know if Massey.
Uh,
Joe, I don't even think Massey's racing, so I'm going to change that very quickly. Well,
That's why
I don't even think Massey's. I said I don't even
No,
think
wait, I
Massey's.
think-
I don't even
No,
think
that's
Massey's
it, man.
racing. So,
Josh, that's your prediction, man. That's it.
yeah, Massey's
called
winning.
it now, that's
Yeah, Massey's winning round 2. Obviously, Hellpack's winning. There you go. The fake Scouser. I know he's in the chat. You've got this, man.
of all people to talk about fake scouses.
So I'm just so judging off that. If you were to base that off, like, say that's the general consensus, then me, Westy, and Hellpack are the favourites to be at the top. Basically,
Yeah.
that's what we've come to the agreement of.
Yeah.
yeah, but you've got people who are outright quali merchants and could just smash out quali and then
Yeah, true.
they're in the race.
He knows in the chat. Flop.
Let me go on the chat. Who have we got in the chat? Alfie Edge said, "Where's Bowles? He's been saying nice words." No, he said you're a terrible manager, Alf. Terrible manager, and you should get sacked.
Honestly, mate, if you were here earlier, the stuff he said about you,
Oh, it
honestly,
was awful.
it was awful. Honestly, worst thing I've heard.
Can I change my predictions? I've just done my first time trial lap and I got beached, so me DNF.
You DNF. Oh, make a note, yeah. You got any predictions in the chat, guys? Got 20 minutes until the lobby opens, so a bit of time. Anyone's got any questions?
I'll put it this way: I'm not making it out Q1.
Do you generally not reckon? Yeah, we'll go with that. What's your bold prediction? I know we've been over a dark horse, but that's for the whole season. What's your bold prediction for this race?
I think the McLarens will do something.
Yeah.
I think for this year definitely it'll be a good Alpine McLaren competition. Will be good.
Okay. What about you, Parsons? What's your bold prediction?
Bold prediction for what, the season, or
Just for tonight, because obviously we've been over the dark horses, but
do you know
let's be
what?
honest.
I'll go bold then. Right, Giz to win. There you go. That's how bold I'll go.
Wow.
Where's Steve Grayson?
Red Bull. Giz is at Red Bull.
I see. I want Parkins to win, but I could potentially see a bottle happening. Something like a tyre issue.
See some Red Bull team orders.
Maybe you will. Maybe you will say that.
The Fernando Alonso crash fiasco.
To be fair, Giz is here in the chat. He just said Mr. Flop is here. I'm really hoping he doesn't, because I know he was fighting for a top seat for so long, and he's finally got it. So I'm hoping.
To be fair, I think the thing with Giz as well is, from what he told me, he never stopped racing. He races on a Saturday in a different league.
Yeah, he
so
does.
I think we've all stopped and he hasn't. So I think that's something to count.
Yeah, he should
as
still
well,
be up
the fact that
to. He should still be up to scratch, but no. Right, we'll call it there, because obviously Parsons needs to go off, get ready to get hosting, and then we'll leave these guys to practice for a bit. So let me know what you thought. Obviously, I'll be uploading this to YouTube, so if people weren't here and they're watching it on YouTube, then I don't know. Let me know in the Discord or in the comments on YouTube or in the comments in the chat. I'll keep it open for 5 or so minutes after, just to see if anyone's got any opinions, because if people like this, we'll do it again. And like I said at the start, I will try and get Matt on if people want it, because everyone likes Matt, let's be honest. So if people want that, then I'll get them going. Obviously, cheers to Parsons, cheers for all the guys who came on. Obviously, I know it's not easy. It's not the same as when I got interviewed on FGL and it was like 300 people watching. There's obviously not that many in here, but still, it takes something. So cheers to these guys for coming on. Cheers for all the guys watching. And I'm over and out, and we'll see you in the race.